Promises, resolve, reject, async, await. Yes, we're going to cover all of them, and the video is not even going to be that much longer. The use case scenario that we have created up here is remarkable, and that is why we are able to create and learn almost all of it. So we saw what is the problem that we are facing in the last video with these uno, dos, and tres, and this guy, dos, is creating a problem. And somehow I want that once the dos is all finished up, whatever the call he's making to database, web APIs, or anything, then I want my trace to execute. So I need to learn how can I write that kind of JavaScript. In order to do so, I need to first and foremost rewrite all of this into a much simpler, because as we discussed in many of the earlier videos, this console.log is not really good. You might want to return it because not every method actually logs the information. It should return. In a production environment, log doesn't happen. It just returns either an object, string, array, or anything else. So we're going to code this up into a much better and production way so it looks nicer. So come on to this new file which says 09 promises. Follow along with me. It's going to be very, very quick. And we'll be doing the same thing. So in fact, we can borrow this one method and do all of it. In fact, we can borrow all of these three. Let's go ahead and try to edit that. So instead of this, we are going to just remove this one, and we are going to simply say, hey, I just want to return this. Pretty nice and easy. We don't need this one here. So we're going to remove this. We already understand what the problem is. Don't need to go woohoo for that. We're going to simply say return, and this is going to return IM2. There we go. Nice and easy. Same stuff. Still the set timeout is there. And this is going to simply say I want to return. Okay. So this is the situation right now. Not a big change. We have seen this already so many times. Now, previously, we were doing all of these three call like this, which is not really my favorite one either. So we want to create some variable that call these methods, hold the value that's coming up back, and then probably we want to do the console log. So for that, we are going to create a simple method. Let's call this one as call me. And call me is going to call like that. There we go. Nice and easy. And obviously, somebody is going to call this call me just like that. No problem in this one. Now let's go ahead and create a few variables, specifically three that can call these three methods. So I'm going to call this as simply val1, which is going to call this uno just like that. And whatever the value uno gives it back, it's going to just do a console log for val1. Any problem so far? I don't think so. And if you're having still problem with these kinds of code, probably rewind the entire series one more time. And we're going to do these things a couple of times. So we're going to say copy, paste, paste. This time, this one is going to be val2, and this is going to call those. And this value should be printed out. And this one is going to be val3, which is going to call trace. And this one is going to call val3. Now let's go ahead and see what is the situation of code right now. If I go ahead and run this one, this is 06 and 09. Notice here again it says IM1, undefined, and IM3. And this is moreover a classic case of how things are going to happen in production. You are using and you are assuming that this value is coming on an instant, and you're printing that. It says, hey, I don't know what you're printing. It has never filled the value yet. And then we are getting the 3. So this is moreover a refined version of what we studied in the last one. Now let me show you something really, really different. So you're going to hear this keyword quite a lot. And if I come on to this those, it's not really a perfect way. This is just for example purpose. So bear with me with this one. If I just go ahead and say that there is a keyword async that I can place, now just notice what comes up in place of this undefined. I come up here and it says, hey, there is a promise involved, which is not yet being fulfilled. And this brings us to the next topic, which is async. So I'm going to remove this async and all of this. So there are three things involved in here. First, we have already seen this one, promises. We haven't yet studied it, but we just saw it. And then there is async and await. So what happens? Many times you're going to make a web request, or we're going to make an API request, or maybe a database request. That database request, to you, it looks like, hey, that should fill up like instant. But even when the databases are even on the same network of AWS or any other hosting that you're using, they take probably a millisecond or probably more to just get a connection and then getting it back. So if you're going to call it and treat it like a local variable, you're always going to get into trouble. Anything which is a resource, maybe even if you are taking up some of the local storage or something, then it's a good idea to have something written in an asynchronous manner. That means we have to introduce a new topic here, which is promises. So what is a promise? A promise is something which has two states. Either it is going to be fulfilled or it is not going to be fulfilled. So it's something like a variable is saying to you, hey, I promise you that I'll bring something from the web in just a few minutes. Or probably it's saying, hey, I got failed. I got nada for you. So we can create promises just like this. So promises is an event which is tentatively might be fulfilling up in the future or might be not. But it's going to give you the response back that, hey, I didn't got completed. So just like we can create objects, we can create arrays, or we can create objects from our custom defined classes, we can create similar things with the promises. So how that works? I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to comment this one because I'm going to rewrite this method. So I'm just keeping this method for you safe so that you can have them in exercise files. There we go. So how do we write this? First and foremost, let's cut out this entire thing. So there we go. This is all got cut out. Now we're going to first and foremost say I want to return. And notice, just like we were creating these new objects, just like this, we have done this in the past. Similar to this, you can actually create a promise. There we go. Just simple like that. And there we go. Here is your new promise. As I told you, you can either keep your promise or you can just disregard your promise. So same thing happens here as well inside this callback. There we go. You either are going to be resolving your promise or you are going to get rejected from your promises. Resolve means everything got good and whatever you wanted to bring from the web is giving you a good response. Okay. And then there is a reject as well. That means, hey, something got wrong. It's an error part. It's almost like a try catch. And then we got some bad thing happen. So how does it work? Both of them are actually a method, resolve and reject. So how does it work? You can simply go ahead and say resolve, and you can simply say, I got that. So it's going to give a string back that says, I got that. But we want to simulate the environment where things are not happening instantly. They're happening after a few seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I still want to do this set timeout, means after some 3 seconds, I want to return this. But you don't return it directly after that because there's already one return keyword. So what we do is we actually resolve this now. So resolve, and inside this resolve, I'm going to resolve it like this. And it's not really compulsory that you pass on a string like this. It can be object, it can be array, or any other data type that you are defining. But the whole idea is now our promise is getting resolved. Now through this situation, this is always going to get resolved. But there are libraries like Axios and all of that that we use, which are defined that if you get a proper response from the web, resolve it, otherwise get a reject. We're going to see the reject part as well, but this is how we do it. And definitely I'll talk a little bit more about the promises because it has a then and catch and those scenarios as well. We are not talking about those then and catch scenario. Rather, we are just trying to fix the problem which is in the hand. So, okay, one problem solved, that now we know about the promises and resolve, but the problem still remains the same. How we're going to fix this method call here? So there are a couple of new keywords that we can learn here. One we have already seen, which is async and await. So whenever you are making such call inside the method, you have to make that method asynchronous. So let's go ahead and do it. We go ahead and say this method is going to be asynchronous. Okay, that's it. You just add a keyword and it becomes asynchronous. Right now, just by adding a keyword asynchronous, it's not going to do anything, nothing at all. But all the values for which you are making asynchronous call and you are waiting for a few minutes, there we can use another keyword which is going to be await. This await keyword is a symbol. First and foremost, we make the entire method as asynchronous. There can be multiple await calls here. But this await keyword says that, hey, this is important. What we are doing here is, so until unless I'm finished doing entirely what this DOS method is doing, don't just leave me here. So everybody is going to be sitting in the queue, will be waiting, nothing will execute after that, and then we are going to do it. Let's go ahead and check it out whether we are able to resolve this problem or not. So I go up here, it says I am 1, waiting, nobody's leaving, then we get I am 2 and I am 3. So this is the classic example of promises, resolve, reject, and all of that. Now what happens if it doesn't get resolved? What happens if it gets rejects? Now that is where something interesting happens. I'm going to say this is now reject. Now notice here something strange is going to happen again. 1, I'm 1, and it says nothing, and we got problem here. Now this is a big issue. This is not just a small problem. It says, hey, there is unhandled promise rejection warning that says I am 2. So although we're getting the same I am 2, but it was not supposed to get like this. Instead, whenever we are calling something like reject, there should be an error. But since we are throwing up I am 2, it's getting I am 2. So it's important that we don't reject it right now. We actually resolve this promise so everything goes nicely. Reject means I'm raising up an error, so you should be concerned about that error. Either handle it nicely or I'm going to crash the program. Okay. Promise is not just that. Promise has a little bit more to it, but we're going to understand these promises and all these up. But later on, I think this is good enough. As of now, we were able to solve this one situation or one challenge that was in front of us, and that's the best way of handling it. Later on, I'm going to show you in a dedicated video that what this promise is, how we can read the documentation a bit of it, and how we can handle both resolve as well as this reject. Okay, quite a lot of information in just one video, I know. So that's it for this one, and let's catch up in next one.